Hello people of metal, this is Rauta and now we're yet another festival preview to be done. So here I'm talking about this new festival based in Helsinki, the capital city of Finland, in early days of August. What to expect, what kind of bands to see, what things you really need to know about it. Let's tune in for this main page of Hellsinki Metal Festival. You can pretty much laugh at the funny title of the festival, but that's kind of an ongoing joke with Helsinki, Hellsinki. Okay, now that we have laughed our asses off about it, let's take a look at this new kind of a festival. Technically speaking, before we get any deeper into it and what kind of artist it has and what you need to know about it, this festival is kind of interesting in terms of lineup. It's not going to cater to everybody's need, but it's definitely aiming at so. Whereas Tuska is definitely going more mainstream and more metalcore and even abandoning metal to some extent with its more rock and, synthwave kind of a thing nowadays. Abandoning, like almost totally the extreme metal things of sides and all that stuff. Helsinki Metal Festival seems to have pretty much like 50-50 going for more extreme metal. A little bit more than, Steelfest, but more mainstream names, I guess, bigger names, if you will. And yet at the same time, taking the bands that would have been there, Tuska. So if we really think about it from the Finnish perspective, it seems like it's filling a gap here. Not exactly competing with Steelfest and the likes, the one that really invite people from the underground to see the most black metal bands and death metal bands that pretty much not all the people have even heard of, but yet not going as far as, the Tuska stuff. So somewhere between Tuska and Numirock, but a little bit with Steelfest in the mix. Does that sound intriguing? At least theoretically speaking, definitely so. So let's take a quick look at this main page. You can see some bigger names on the top part of the thing, and then some smaller ones, on the downside of things, lower side of things, which is then again the very, very typical things. Now, if we go for the full lineup here, it's easy to see what kind of names we have here. I mean, it comes from black metal to power metal, from, the more progressive stuff to death metal and thrash metal and beyond. So this is quite an interesting, if you really take a look at here. So it's more like, okay, what's happening? So Saturday, there's obviously the big names are bands like Emperor, playing that are in black metal, but they're doing that on all festivals. So once again, milking those 4 albums and maybe more so focus on the 2 first ones. Yes, it's the symphonic black metal, but that everybody needs to see at least once in their lifetime. Do you really need to see more than that? That is something that I cannot answer for you. Maybe I've just had an overload of Emperor recently, but yeah, it's one of those pro bands doing their symphonic black metal. That's pretty much of it. Then there is I'm Morbid, and this is a curious case because maybe it doesn't ring a bell so much, but that is what Morbid Angel, well, some of the guys who are Morbid Angel are focusing, doing early Morbid Angel stuff with, Dave Vincent and all that stuff, which is definitely tap me in for that. I mean, it's the stuff that I love, the old Morbid Angel albums. And it's going to be interesting to see how that folds out when Morbid Angel is not really touring. And, of course, their focus is a little bit more than just, the early albums. Then there are bands like Lepros, which definitely isn't my cup of tea. But I know that, people who love, the kind of a progressive metal stuff and all that, more clean singing and stuff like that. Yeah, they're going to just love it. My personal favorites, however, are bands like Vomitory, which just released a wonderful, great death metal album with a strong, forceful comeback in a way, and that is something that I already got to see last year in Norway, and I can say those guys are vicious, and the new album is just adorable. Then you have some hardcore punk with Tervegadet. You have Samael playing their Swiss kind of a hybrid black metal. I don't know really if you really can call it black metal these days, but a lot of people will think of the early days when they were playing black metal and the later days when it's just went more like, electronic with its stuff. I don't know what kind of set they're gonna play here, but yeah, I guess it's interesting to see that. For me personally, last time I saw Samael was 1996, so maybe it's a due time to pay another visit and all that stuff. Then you have, of course, one of the bigger names, Watine, like how they want to say it, playing with their, Nordic black metal Swedish style. Gotta say that was probably the prettiest, most beautiful, most gorgeous show on Inferno what I got to see. So they are supposed to play you a show you will not easily forget. Then you have some smaller bands, say, such as Blood Red Hourglass, Scar Symmetry, and stuff like that. And also classic bands like Pentagram. So quite of a mix from doomish approaches to black metal to progressive metal to hardcore punk, more modern days metal, gloomier metal like Before the Dawn and all that stuff. Quite a setting for Saturday. What about Friday then? Well, you have Clawfinger, which was back in the day the kind of a crossover band, and I don't know even how they sound these days. Never saw them, never really liked them that like for real, but at least they were interesting back in the days doing their kind of a crossover stuff, which I guess preceded new metal in a way. I don't know really how to even define them these days, so not gonna touch the topic. Then you have a classic power heavy metal bands like Blind Guardian, you have the Polish controversy, black metal with Batushka, you have a German classic trashier act like Sodom, always good live, Benighted from France, bringing probably the best death metal France ever has to offer. You have those weird trashy guys from Canada, Voivod, also some new music out. You have Stratovarius, so you know, Finnish power metal, and Impel Nazarene to kick your ass with some, I don't know, toxic Death Black, whatever you call them these days, and a bunch of other bands. So the lineup is, to say the least, quite an interesting if you really think about it. Obviously, you will find more information on this site here, but as it seems like there is no English info so much. Maybe it's somewhere here. Maybe it's just something that I probably cannot see that well, but that is hopefully something that will be fixed. Now, of course, the main audience will be, Finnish one. It's not that likely that a lot of people from outside Finland is going to come, but in case you're looking for information and you're coming outside of Finland or just simply don't speak Finnish, this site is not maybe that much full of information, you at least without, using the translation tools for the festival. So I'm here to guide you a little bit what you need to know. First of all, this takes place in Helsinki, which is very, very reachable, whether you come from inside Finland or outside Finland. You have the public transportation with trains, trams, buses, etc., subway even. So it's all very, very reachable in the terms of traveling and all that stuff. However, when this is happening in the early days of August or mid-August, 11 and 12th of August, means that there are lots of activities going on all around in Helsinki, which means also that there are no collaboration hotels doing some kind of a discount thing with the festival and all that stuff, which also means you really should start booking your hotels as soon as possible, because the thing here is the hotels might be actually on the rise when it comes to the prices or already quite booked. Obviously, Helsinki is a big city, so there will be plenty of places where you can just go for the night and all that stuff. You don't even have to limit yourself to Helsinki area. You can just go with the nearby cities like Espoo, Vantaa, etc. So there are plenty of opportunities for you to just choose accommodation based on your budget and all that stuff. But in case you want to be in the very core of the action, in the heart of the city and all that stuff, book your hotels very soon, because it's only like 2 months away, and due to a lot of activities in Helsinki and being an active summer city, so to speak, it's gonna be, I guess, kind of a hustle when it comes to having these hotel rooms or what have you. Now, mind you, when you take a look at this main page, there are already some bands where it seems replaced by some others, so this is not 100% accurate for the time being, I mean currently, and who knows if there will be later on replacements. I can only do my best guessing, and hopefully not. But the thing here is, this is as it gets updated. I guess more accurate info will be on the event's Facebook page. What other things you need to know about it? There's plenty of other activities around the venue. Maybe of course the bands are the main attraction, of course, but there's some other activities which include some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of a, what do you call it, not the actual museum experience, but things that are related to metal, but not exactly, bands playing all live and all that stuff. When it comes to different kind of foods and whatever you have to eat, I mean, there are plenty of different companions which serve you food for, I guess, typical festival prices. Now, Finland being on the more expensive side of things obviously means that it's not going to be easy on your budget or easy on your wallet. So I guess you just have to prepare a little bit extra when it comes to having a festival in Finland, because, you know, festival food, festival drinks is always a little bit extra compared to their everyday life, and Helsinki just happens to be among the more expensive cities in Finland in the first place. So I guess you should have a little bit extra 20% on your budget rather than just going for your typical things. All in all, what makes Helsinki so good a place for festivals is that, like I said, all the public transportation is pretty easy. Whether you come from a different country using a plane, or I don't know, taking a ferry from Stockholm, Sweden, or Estonia, it's all in the heart of the city, and traveling, like I said, it will be easy and relatively cheap as well. So that is not really the kind of thing you have to really ponder about, like traveling in an expensive or time-taking ways, but just something that you probably want to include in your budget. If you're, once again, traveling within Finland, then you all pretty much know what's going on. You use the public transportation in Helsinki, HSL, or just whatever means you have necessary, like bikes, rentable ones, or scooters, who knows. All in all, this lineup seems to be pretty cool, but since there are no previous years to compare this to it, I mean, this is the first time when Helsinki Metal Fest is taking place, it's really hard to say how things will actually fold out. I'm being optimistic as always, and I think this will be an interesting lineup, because what is also cool about having bands that you're not that much interested in is that you have the time to just cool off, I don't know, have drinks with your friends, eat, toilet breaks or whatever, without missing something really important. On the downside, if you're really kind of a budget person, that you really need to have kind of a value written down on your ticket, like see as many bands as possible, and you're counting the price, like, okay, the tickets cost this and that much, and per band is this and that much. This is kind of a hard cookie, because I kind of doubt there are too many people who are like in for everything the festival has to offer. So more specialized festivals have the benefit that it's more focused in the genres, be it black metal, death metal, whatever. When you have this kind of all-around, little bit catering to all kinds of needs within the metal scene, I think this is going to be a little bit harder, because, like I said, it's not like everybody's going to like everything. That applies to me so well as well, because I am like cherry picking, like, okay, that and that and that and that and that, and the rest can just be left alone. But we'll see how it goes. At least August is a good time for festivals in Helsinki, and like I said, pretty interesting lineup in so many ways. So I guess we shall see. Should you have any comments or questions, let me know in the comment section. I will get back to you, and if there are questions which I can really answer, I will. If not, I will pass it to the organizer or the promoter of the festival, and maybe hopefully you will get your replies back then. But take a look at the festival. You will find links provided in the description box, and prepare for some interesting August. See you there maybe. Bye bye.